Good morning on this beautiful National Day of Prayer from our beautiful backyard. This morning, I had the fear of the Lord upon my heart. And one thing we want upon this nation is for a holy, reverential fear of the Lord to come to pass. And so what I did is I did a search on the internet, M'2, fear of the Lord. And it brought up one of my blogs. See, it's like that's how I have all of these teachings filed in there, and I have tags on them. And it brought up These Are the Days of Elijah, Part 3. And so in Upper Kingdom, what was happening in the days of Elijah, Elijah was a prophet to the upper 10 kings of the land, the 10 tribes. And there was not one king that did right in God's sight. Not one of 19 kings. And so these are the days of Elijah. So I'm going to read it to you from my blog post. It doesn't say what date it was done. Oh, it was August 3rd, 2016. So remember, up in the northern 10 tribes, that's called Israel, there was famine, there was darkness, and it was sword. It was horrible times. And so what was happening in the southern kingdom? What was going on in Judah? They finally had a righteous king, Jehoshaphat, and his name means Jehovah has judged. He began his reign in the 4th year of King Ahab of Israel's reign, and reigned 25 years. 2 Chronicles 7:3 says, "Now the Lord was with Jehoshaphat, because he walked in the former ways of his father, his ancestor David. He did not seek the Baals, but he sought God of his father and walked in his commandments and not according to the acts of Israel. Therefore the Lord established a kingdom in his hand, and all Judah gave presents to Jehoshaphat, and he had riches in abundance, and his heart took delight in the ways of the Lord. Moreover, he removed the high places and wooden images from Judah." The remainder of the chapter goes on to say how powerful they were, how abundant the riches of the land, because they had reform and they had revival. Revival comes with reform. Did you know that? So David was not actually the father. His father was King Asa. Jehoshaphat was the 4th king of Israel, the kings who came from the bloodline of King David, a man after God's own heart. Acts 13:22. King Jehoshaphat not only brought the worship of the one true God back to Jerusalem, he sent priests throughout the land, the kingdom of Judah, to teach the people the book of the law. No longer would God's people perish for a lack of knowledge. Their borders were safe. Righteous king, safe borders. Their borders were safe, and there was new respect for Judah. 2 Chronicles 17:10, "And the fear of the Lord fell on all the kingdoms of the land who were around Judah, because they did not make war against Jehoshaphat." That little patch of the world again held the respect and power of all the kingdoms. During the hard time of Israel, the people groaned, mourned, and suffered. They were in famine. They were in total ignorance of their God Jehovah. Can you imagine what it was like? Ahab, son of Omri, did more evil in the eyes of the Lord than any of those before him. Ahab did more to provoke the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger, and did all the kings of Israel before him. 1 Kings 16:30 and 33. "Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty." 2 Corinthians 3:17. There is no freedom or liberty in the northern king of Israel, only bondage and darkness. During the same time, the southern kingdom of Judah rejoiced. There was freedom from war, reign, and reverential fear of the Lord, liberty. What made the difference? A righteous leader. Proverbs 29:2 tells us, "When just leaders are in power, the citizens celebrate. When the evil people gain control, their joys become mourns." The Voice translation. Later in his reign, Jehoshaphat made wrong decisions, but it was wonderful in the land when he followed God with all his heart. And that is my National Day of Prayer message for you today. pray for righteousness to reign in our land. Pray for the holy reverential fear to come upon the land. And if you're looking at, for any of my teachings, they're easy to do. Do a search engine on your internet and type in M. Bostrom 2 altogether, M. Bostrom 2, and whatever you're looking for, revival, blood of Jesus, signs in the heavens, whatever you're looking for, and it'll pull up your file. Then you'll have the same file system as me. God bless you. Bye-bye.